Clint in Decatur, Illinois. Hey, Clint, you wanted to talk about Don Siegelman?
Yeah, yes, Tom. Thanks for having me on.
Sure.
You rendered us tremendous support for Don through the years. I'm in Decatur, Alabama.
Oh, Alabama.
Oh, but but no one's ever heard of that.
Yeah.
I listened to Don last week and again yesterday, and that, all he wants to talk about is other criminal defendants facing charges and inmates that are there in the prison with him. He's really championed reform on their behalf. But I want to say a couple of things about him. I've known Don since law school, and campaigned for him on all his elections. He's a good and honest man.
Mm-hmm.
What I wanted to cover, and I know you know this, when he was the first elected governor, the first Democrat in a couple of terms, and the last Democrat elected, immediately upon his assuming office, the local attorney general, Bill Pryor, who now sits on the 11th Circuit, which has been reviewing his case, started a year-long public investigation, feeding the media every week, the details of this investigation. Before they even had their phones turned on or knew how to operate them in the governor's office, they were subject, to a barrage of calls and all.
Right.
That went on for a year, and ultimately it led to an indictment in the Northern District of Alabama on very similar charges, just reworded than what he was ultimately convicted of. And presiding Judge U.W. Clements dismissed those charges pretty close to the start of the trial and called it the greatest injustice that he had seen in his 29 years on the bench. So then they moved it to Montgomery, and Don's opponents in his reelection campaign, campaign manager's wife,
right.
Don's opponent's campaign manager was Carl Rove Client, and his wife was the U.S. attorney, and she indicted him in Montgomery.
Right, Laura Canary.
Laura Canary before Judge Fuller. Now, this is unbelievable, but makes matters worse. While Judge Fuller, before he was a federal judge, he was a Alabama County District Attorney. Don investigated him for retirement systems fraud. Right. While Don was governor and he was the local district attorney. So, with the Karl Rove initiation, indictment and all, then we get a judge with a grudge.
Right. It was payback time. In fact, I've got a list of things here that I got an email this morning from the Don Siegelman being on his mailing list, titled "What Do You Really Know About the Siegelman Case?" And Clint, thanks for giving me the opening for that. When I come back from the next break, I'm just going to read some of these things so our viewers and listeners get what we're talking about. But thank you, Clint, for sharing your story with us. And, feel free to call in every week with Don Siegelman stories if you want. I know Don, and I think this is such an injustice. Thank you, Clint.